Okay, we're going to strip and rebuild a Rekord trigger unit. Now, I'm sure everybody's seen these diagrams of the Rekord trigger where we've got the trigger blade, the adjustable bottom sear, the second sear and the top sear that attaches to the actual latch rod. Okay, take it apart. I use a little block of wood with some holes drilled through it and obviously some pin punches. Now, first thing you need to do is have a good old feel around, because these pins are swaged over, and on this one these are swaged over on a lot more on this side than they are on this side. So this is the side I'm going to start on. Number one, I need to remove the trigger pressure screw. So okay, now when this comes out it's immediately followed by the spring, so eyes open and waiting, because we want this. And if the spring's going to pop out, is it just going to misbehave itself a little bit? There we go, and the spring. That's job number one. Second, we need to remove the trigger pin. Okay, so just tap that through. Okay, so that's the blade removed. And now everything starts moving an awful lot more. Okay, next one, we'll have the adjustable sear out. So again, we'll push that through. Try a slightly smaller one. Okay, so there's part of it out, tiny tap more. Now you'll notice that while I was doing that, the tops here fell out on its own. That's because this, they can be quite loose, and this one obviously is. That pin come out, there are my tops here. And then last but not least is this little beauty. Again, we just pop this through. And quite a loose pin. And that all pops out. Spring, sear, pin. So there we go. Triggering bits. Spacer for the second sear. And we can see what the parts are. We've got this part, top lever, 2-part bottom lever, trigger. Okay. You hear a lot of people talking about polishing the sears to get a nice smooth action. Now what we're talking about actually is the touching surfaces of these trigger parts. You can actually see on that one where it touches that sear there. Similarly, you can actually see on there where it touches that part there. So it's how those various trigger parts meet each other and how we make it as smooth as possible. So the bits that are going to need polishing for when you pull the trigger is this bit, this bit, because that acts on there, this bit, this bit, and then the trigger itself works on here, and as you can see there's a dirty great big mark on this one, so that bit, and these have already got little roller inserts in, so I don't think I'm going to mess with them. So those are the parts that I'm going to actually work on. Now the thing that's important is that it's not like you're going to take a file to these things. You don't want to alter the shape or profile of any part of these triggers. All you're actually doing is you're going to polish this very hard metal. Okay, so the kind of things I'll use. I've got a stone. We've got 1000 grit and 3000 grit. I've got some wet and dry paper. That is 2000 grit. I've got some Solvol Autosol metal polish for cleaning the thing up, and that's those little parts, those little tiny bits are the bits I'm going to polish in the sears. We're going to do the back edge of this one first. The first thing is I've got a stone which is 2000 grit and 3000 grit, which I can use for just taking off any obvious marks or scratches. I'm not going to spend ages and ages and ages videoing this stuff, simply because it takes a while and I need to get real close to it to have a good look, see what's happening. Okay, so I can stone off any imperfections on there. Then I've got some 2000 grit wet and dry, which I can place on a flat surface, and again I can use that just to polish up the actual sear surface, which as I do it you can even see it's starting to get that lovely chrome finish. And last of all, I'll get me a bit of chamois leather, again put it on a flat surface. I've talked to people who use Dremels and all sorts of things, but I want to try and keep the profile as perfect as I can, so I'm just keep working on a flat surface all the time, apart from where I can. With the little one, the little sears, it's very difficult to get in, so you've got to do whatever you can. You can see that Autosol doing its job there. Good old polish up, and then obviously I'll do this to all the bits of sear surface that I want to polish, and I'm after that super smooth, super finished surface. You can see that's beginning to come really chrome finish now. So I'll do that to all my sears.